Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Wednesday, November the 8th. Welcome to our video commentary. Somebody very famous once said that it's easier to explain victory than to explain defeat. And that's exactly right. It's easier for a Democrat to explain what happened on Tuesday than it's going to be for me. But I'm going to try it. We had elections in Virginia, in New Jersey. Those two were governor's elections. And then there was a mayor's election in New York City. Now, there were also some state assembly or state legislature elections in Virginia. In New York City, the Democrat won. That was not a surprise. I mean, that was expected. Everybody expected Mayor de Blasio to be reelected. I think the big surprise in New York City was the level of electoral apathy. Something like 10% of the voters showed up to vote. That's pretty bad for a city like New York City with a population of 8 to 10 million people. But anyway, that's what happened. In New Jersey, the Democrat won. He won 55-45, which is a good victory, but not a landslide. Certainly not the type of landslide that I was expecting. I thought the Democrat in New Jersey was going to go over 60% of the vote, given how unpopular the incumbent Governor Christie is. But it turned out that the Republican governor, who I believe is the lieutenant governor, got 45% of the vote. Actually, I was quite surprised she did that well. I thought she would go down to like 40%, but she did a little bit better. So he won. Mr. Murphy is now the governor-elect of New Jersey, and that will have a potential impact on the U.S. Senate if Senator Menendez has to resign and he has to be replaced by a governor. So that could have an impact on our federal politics. Now, the question now is for Mr. Murphy, how happy is he going to be the governor of New Jersey? Because he inherits a state with very serious financial problems, a state that has underfunded public pensions, a state that will probably have to raise taxes, and a state that has a crumbling infrastructure. So it's not pretty in New Jersey. And I'm not sure that he's going to feel this good about this job in about 6 to 9 months when the reality of governing New Jersey falls on him. But we wish him well. But he was also expected to win. So New York City and New Jersey, in both cases, the Democrat was expected to win. There was not any serious thinking among Republicans that those would be contested. Now we go to Virginia, where I think that's the surprise for me. I have to confess. I thought the election would be closer. It ended up being like 54-45, something like that. Again, that's a good victory. I'm not undermining at all what the Democrat did, but it was not the kind of landslide that I think maybe even some Democrats were thinking about. But at the end of the day, what happened in Virginia was that they had a huge turnout. The Democrats had a huge turnout. And I think something is happening in Virginia that makes it very favorable for the Democrats, and that is there is a larger growing presence of federal employees who are now living in Virginia, and they vote Democrat. I also heard that the public union, the Public Federal Employees Union, whatever their formal name is, I'm not sure, that they were also very active in this election. So there were a lot of things going for the Democrats in Virginia, and it turned out that they won, and they got their numbers out, and we congratulate the Democrats on getting their people out to vote. Now, what does this all mean? I think that's the question everybody's asking. If you go back to 1993, 2001, 2009, and now 2017, it seems like Virginia always elects a governor from the party opposite of the president in power. What does that mean? I don't know. But I do know that Clinton, Bush, and Obama were reelected. So obviously, it did not have a lasting impact. I don't think that what happened on Tuesday is necessarily the end or a big message for the Republican Party or for President Trump. But I do think the Republicans have got to get their act together in the U.S. Senate and pass something and pass it very quickly, whether it's tax reform, whether it's Obamacare. They have to do something, and they have to do it quickly, because I think that a lot of the base is getting frustrated particularly with the Senate, a Senate that just doesn't seem to want to do anything or always gets hung up in all kinds of debates. So I think the real message out of Tuesday's election for the Republicans is that they can still win the midterm election in 2018, but they're going to have to start putting some results on the board. They're going to have to start putting up something on the board, and I think passing some legislation like tax reform and maybe healthcare reform, I think that would be a good place to start. But again, good night for the Democrats. They won New York City and New Jersey, 2 elections they were supposed to win, by the way. And they did, I think, better than I thought at the governor's race in Virginia. So now it's up to the Republicans to move forward and get their act together. And I think if they do, they will be okay in 2018 and 2020. Have a great day, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, and thank you for listening to our commentary.